Okay, this project is going to demonstrate some of my own personal experience with layups. This would be hand layups and vacuum forming. And what this project is I had dreams and began building a Farrier F82R trimaran sailboat. And so what you basically do are buy prints, and then and the prints have one-to-one plots with them, and you begin building them, laying them out, and going from there. So this is a general overview of what the boat would look like when it's assembled in the hardware. This is an example of how the one-to-one plots would be assembled using cross sections, and then you have long boards that go across them to smooth them out. Then you have marine foam material, core material laid in there, and that smooths it out. Then you basically fiberglass or fiberglass and carbon fiber a schedule to build strength on the inside and the outside, of course. So to give you some examples of what I worked on, or how far I got, this is me getting the plan book and having some fun and dreaming of it, and getting, of course, the garage all set up for it. And this is when I was building the two halves of the amas, or the two outside floats. And I don't have a great order here. Let's see if I can find a better. Okay, this is getting the panels laid out. This is the panels all lined up cross sections, and then I started putting in the stringers, and I started adding the foam. And that's me, of course, doing some layup. And then there you can see the two. It was quite an interesting and really a pretty challenging project, but fun. And then this is the two halves put together with a friend of mine. So we're about ready to do the outside fiberglassing. I also did the chain plates. And so again, this is that marine foam, and there's a metal connection here, which is for the shrouds on the sailboat, and it's going to be layered up with carbon fiber for strength. So sorry for that blurry picture, but there I am hand laying up the piece. Multiple layers of unidirectional carbon fiber, and that can be difficult material to work with, rather stiff. And then I ended up actually vacuum bagging this to make sure it would hold and be solid all the way through without any gaps, not connected and everything, from foam to fiberglass, so there'd be no gaps at all. So again, sorry for that blur, but there's my vacuum bag set up and a heating blanket. I also worked on the center board, which is this piece, and I hand laid it up with different layers, and you can see where I was starting to contour it using just straight cut. I used the CAD system to design it and get my one-to-one plots. And then that was me contouring it now. And then I eventually will put these two pieces, putting the two pieces together, two halves together. And then you can see where I have the, if you are familiar with it anyway, this is a more dense foam where the contacts are, where it makes contact on the boat, and also where the lines come in so that it has more strength there. And then I fiberglassed each of those holes so it had more strength in it in those areas. And of course you had to build a certain amount, and what I'm allowing here for is the layup schedule to build back the fiberglass and the epoxy and fairing and then paint. And ultimately, ideally, would be at about 2 inches when I'm all done. So I'm right on target here. And here I am making sure that the center all across this blade is centered. So I'm indicating where it is, clamping an end down, and then walking that popsicle stick around to make sure that I haven't got any warp or twist in the blade. And these are just cores, which I'll push into here so that I don't get a bunch of fiberglass in here. And when I'm done fiberglassing this, I'll pull those cores out. Okay, so this is the first layer of fiberglass coming on, and you can see I laid it out so that when I apply my epoxy, this will just fold over, and I'm kind of giving myself about where the material should lay and overlap. My garage, again, put to good use. Alright, and then here is the the blade put together with the first layer, actually all the layers. This is the fiberglass, and then the carbon fiber, and then an outside layer of fiberglass on top of that, all sandwiched together. So that's looking good. I mean, this is where the core comes down, and core is not that strong. Plus, if water gets into it, it tends to basically fall apart and get basically break apart when it gets to water, and it freezes and thaws and freezes and thaws. So the thin edge of the blade, the aft part of the blade, is actually all fiberglass and epoxy. And so if you get little cracks or stresses in here because it's thin and brittle, it tends not to let the water seep into the core material. Alright, that's it for this demonstration. If you have any more questions, you certainly can contact me. I would appreciate answering any more. I have far more details I can give and other examples of tooling and projects I worked on. But I think this gives a general idea of what I have to offer. And I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.